After fighting with the oil industry the past few years, Governor Gavin Newsom is considering new and some might say surprising action to keep the companies operating in California.
The state faces the threat of higher gas prices and tight gasoline supply as two major oil refiners are preparing to shut down within the next year.
KCRA 3 Capitol correspondent Ashley Zavala explains exactly what he's now weighing.
Facing the threat of higher gas prices and tighter gasoline supply, California leaders, including Governor Gavin Newsom, are now seriously considering boosting oil production in the state. In a letter to Governor Newsom, the vice chairman of his California Energy Commission included oil extraction in a list of recommendations to stabilize the state's supply. Siva Gunda wrote, quote, "We recommend that the state take action to achieve targeted stabilization of crude oil production in California to supply in-state refineries while ensuring that production is consistent with critical health and environmental protections."
That's not rolling back anything.
Governor Newsom has been on the front lines of California's push to move away from the use of oil and gas. When I asked about these recommendations, he did not say if he'll approve, but said he's reviewing them.
I'm not naive about the imperative of a transition that's rational and addresses nature of change. And a lot has changed in the global markets, a lot of change in supply chains, a lot continues to change. We've got some challenges, and so it just requires some new considerations.
One of California's challenges, its reliance on foreign oil. The latest state data shows 63% of the state's fuel supply is coming from other countries, mostly in the Middle East and South America. Lawmakers from both sides of the aisle acknowledge the global conflicts could mean more challenges for the state's fuel.
The in-state producers in the state of California, they produce the cleanest oil and gas ever.
Republican State Senator Shannon Grove represents Kern County, where the state has well-established oil fields with several environmental regulations in place.
Right now, we're in a drastic situation. It's actually a catastrophic cliff, and that is not hyperbole. That is not something that's just to alarm people. We have two additional refiners that have announced closure if we don't get them oil to produce and we don't take care of the situation that we have in this state regarding in-state production.
Grove says the governor and legislature need to seriously consider the California Energy Commission's recommendations and act fast to keep refiners in the state. I asked if those recommendations surprised her.
It's not about oil. It's not about in-state production. The CEC vice chair is trying to figure out how to keep gas prices low for all Californians. That's his goal.
At the state capitol, Ashley Zavala, KCRA 3 News.
Well, some other recommendations from the state's Energy Commission include putting a pause on the penalty the governor wanted to put on oil refiners when they make too much money off California drivers. The governor said he planned to move quickly on some of the recommendations, but did not specify which ones.